Hello, hello, and welcome back to Happy Time, Happy Money podcast. And today we have Frank on fire. She is an Australian mom of two boys in her 30s who stumbled onto the FIRE movement in mid-2019. This movement changed her and her husband's traditional views on retirement and made them realize that they did not have to work until they were 65 years old. She created a blog, Frank on Fire, as a way of documenting and sharing their honest and frank journey to financial independence. Hi, and welcome, Frank.
Hi, how are you?
Doing
sorry, it just froze.
And I would love to ask you, as always, we started this podcast from tell us more, Frank. What inspired you? I mean, what inspired you to do what you do right now?
So as you've mentioned, Victoria, we found FIRE, I guess, just over 2 years ago. We are aiming to retire in 8 years and we're on track at the moment, which is really good. But what inspires me, I guess, is the desire for more freedom in my life and more choice. And it's not just me, it's me and my husband. And we have two children, two older kids. We had our kids very young, so we didn't get to do a lot of traveling. And so we're really keen to start traveling a lot more. But yeah, that's what inspires us, is just more freedom and more choice. And so FIRE is that vehicle for us.
So how did you, where did you discover FIRE concept?
Yeah, good question. So we discovered it. I don't know if you know the Minimalists. They are another podcast, and they were featured on a documentary video by Scott Rikens called Playing with Fire. And so I downloaded the audiobook, and then the documentary came out, and it was really, really inspiring to see people my own age who had gotten out of the rat race and, you know, had more choice and more passion in their lives. And yeah, so that was how I found it.
I love it. What is your, you said you're on track in 8 years. So it's like, what's your motivation basically for achieving it early? And I see you have a beautiful kids right there behind you. If you are watching this podcast, you can totally see them. But if you're not, you can totally go to our page and watch that podcast. Show a beautiful picture of your family.
Yeah, so my husband was actually diagnosed with cancer at 28, so that was about 6 years ago, and has been in remission for 6 years, and we're really, really grateful every single day. But we've learned a lot from the journey, including the fact that tomorrow is not guaranteed, and so there's no point doing things you don't want to do. So really that's the key motivation for us, is to live as many days on our own terms and not in, I guess, jobs that we don't enjoy, to spend more time on our hobbies, with our kids, and on travel. So for us, FIRE is a way of life which allows us to transition to a life with more choice, more flexibility around what we do with our time.
Love it. So what will be your best advice for those people who are just like getting started on learning about financial independence?
Yeah,
and tell us first also the concept of FIRE, because I feel like maybe some people won't be familiar what is the FIRE. Let's just start from that first. A little bit rewind.
Good question. So FIRE stands for Financially Independent, Retire Early. So it's all around, I guess, determining what your FIRE number is. So your FIRE number is 25 times your current annual expenses. And what you're trying to do is aim to have that invested in income producing assets. So income producing assets. And once you have reached that FIRE number, then you can retire. And a lot of people choose not to retire. A lot of people choose to maybe reduce their working hours to give them more work-life balance. Some people may choose to change career altogether. The whole point of FIRE is it gives you more choices, and there's no one way to do FIRE. I guess that's the most important thing. You can do it as slowly or as quickly as you feel comfortable doing.
Love it. Okay, so what's your advice now to start it? How did I started 2 years ago?
Well, for me, I work in project management, and I love the saying, what gets measured gets managed. One thing I believe strongly has kept us going, because I think starting is a big issue, but once you start, keeping going and motivation is really hard, especially in the middle. I think the first year, you're really keen and you've got a goal, but then after that, you could be at risk of losing it, I guess. And so the big thing for me is really tracking and, tracking your net worth, tracking your expenses, tracking your progress and looking back, because I guess you can inspire yourself really as to how far you've come, especially when you've had financial setbacks. Seeing how far you've come keeps you going further, I guess. That's the big thing.
Love that. Oh my gosh. You like keeping the progress, right? And that's what we humans as the humans need sometimes, not even result, but like the progress, like, okay, I'm making a progress. I'm doing something. It feels tangible because when there is a progress, love it. So in the last question go for it.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say the one thing also is keep it visual, keep it super visual with your trackers. So put it wherever you feel inspired, so that if that's your work office or if it's on your fridge, keep yourself inspired with your progress.
Love it. And the last question that I always ask, filling the blank for me, please. If you really knew me, you will know that I am blank.
Oh, I love this one. Curious. I'm a very curious person. I love asking lots of questions, and I think that probably comes down to my background, but I'm very curious. Curiosity killed the cat, but I think it's have helped me, I guess, always ask questions, always ask why. It leads to a lot of efficiencies. Why am I buying this? Why am I spending that? But yeah, I'm a why.
Awesome. And I know you have an awesome free gift for us today. Could you share with more what it is?
So as I was mentioning, I really love visual trackers. And so I'm quite big on that. And so I am sharing one of my visual trackers, which is a monthly goal setting printable. So that's available on the site.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming over, and we will link everything you can find on the episode page, where you can go, just scroll down. Even though you're watching or listening to this episode, just scroll down, there will be a link, and there you can find all the links that we mentioned, all the social media, and many ways to connect with Frank. Thank you so much for coming, Frank. And thank you so much for watching or listening. And don't forget to go and subscribe to our channel or subscribe to our podcast and give us a review, or rate and subscribe and review. Okay, I'll put them all together. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.